Time now for Madabout.
I'm mad about yachts and plantain parks, cats and hats and cricket bats, dolls and dogs, wheels with cogs, mad about gliding and horseback riding. I'm mad about boats and trains, model aeroplanes. I'm mad about, I got a mad about collecting old mugs, teapots and jugs. There is always something that we go mad about. We all have at least one thing that we are mad about. I'm mad about, mad about, I'm mad about,
Hello. Well, that film clip will give you some idea of the crazy capers that went into making films in the old silent movie days. And movies is what we're mad about today. Oh, just 1 minute, Stu. Oh, and that, of course, is my old friend Nicholas Parsons, the salesman of the century. What a lot of you don't know, of course, is that he is a film-making fanatic, and we'll be joining him on the location of his latest film and finding out more about his hobby later on in the program. Now, anyone who's interested in movie making may have started off with one of these flick-through picture books. I did. I remember I made my first one many years ago. And, of course, making a moving picture cartoon like this is called animation. But you can animate with models just as well as with drawings. And someone who's really mad about 3D, that's three-dimensional animation, is 14-year-old filmmaker Tony Luke, here in his monster den, actually his bedroom.
It's a monster. Help me, boys. Help.
Hello. Hi. How are you? Great, Tony. Tell me, this is your studio?
Yes, that's right. The whole thing.
And so this is obviously the sound stage.
The sound stage of the lot.
Yeah.
It's really the same thing as cartoon form, except with models. So I'll show you some of the models.
Let's have a look.
I started off with the simplest thing, which an animator usually starts off with.
That's simple, is it?
Yeah. Plasticine model.
Yeah. Has that got a frame inside?
No, it's just plasticine.
It's just the tension of the plasticine itself.
And then I went on to other things.
Yeah.
Building using wood,
I
wire.
see, with the skeleton inside.
Yes.
And did that also have plasticine on top?
No, but you went up this.
Oh, yes, this one, yes.
He's a test model.
He's great, isn't he? Yes, I love him. What happens if you go and bend it, the thing starts to move back? Because you've just had the other frame like that, for example. Now you suddenly, you find the thing there, and you moved it there, and you turn around, the thing's gone back to the original position.
This is when this special wire comes in. Aluminium wire. It is very pliable, but very strong, and you move it, it sticks. You can animate it as much as you like, nothing happens. The thing that started me off was seeing the film King Kong vs. Godzilla when I was 7.
Yes, well, the two men with the rubber suits
That's
on,
right.
with the zipper up the back. Oh, I love those.
And after that, I decided, well, why not me? Why don't I have a go at this?
Yeah,
and as I quite obviously couldn't get hold of a rubber suit in the studio, I found out about Ray Harryhausen and started a few of my own animation films. One night when I was watching the television, I saw, and now on television tonight we present so-and-so, and I saw the new wave of demolishing derelict buildings. I thought, well, I'm going to get my camera down, so I rushed downstairs with the camera, set it up in front of the screen, and filmed. And I got about 20 different shots of buildings crashing down. then a scratched-on array coming out, scratched onto the building.
On each individual cell, you just scratch
frame. Each frame. Tiny little frame.
Yes,
and,
yes.
and then the building collapses. And after that, I went on to using these Action Man frame to make the...
Oh, yes, you can see the Action Man bits in there. I see, so you actually cannibalize it and use part Action Man, part the other. That's not as positive, is it, as the other?
Well, not quite. I haven't quite finished this one because I've still got it. I'm going to open it up and put some of this aluminium wire in so you can get perfect.
Oh, you put the aluminium wire inside it. Now, you've won an award, haven't you, for this?
Yes, I won an award for a film called Yetrigar versus the Carnival.
Yetrigar versus the Carnival. I love the titles. I'm really looking forward to this.
Yes, so I think I'll show you the rushes of my latest film, The Robusters.
The Robusters. What's it about?
A robotic disaster squad.
What? Fabulous. That's great. Yes, it's a bit far-fetched, though, eh?
Listen, Mush, that's my brother.
If you're a good lad, I'll buy you a hot dog in the interval. What about that for a mind-bender? You know, it's incredible what lengths the film fans will go to. The true movie madabouters join James Bond clubs, Dracula societies, Star Trek clubs, Star War clubs. And this 8-page blockbuster letter was sent in by an ardent Star Wars fan, Lorraine Leah Pierce. Princess Leia, if you remember, was the heroine of the Star Wars saga, and Lorraine's heroine as well. And if I may say so, mine, and you make a beautiful Princess Leia. But don't you get a bit of a wigging, a bit of a ragging from the other girls dressing up as Princess Leia?
Quite a bit, but I don't take any notice.
And quite rightly, too. Let them go and pedal their bike somewhere else. You made the costume yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, it's all homemade by myself.
How did you make the boots?
Just Wellingtons with vinyl shapes on.
Well, tremendous. And this is what?
A comlink, I think.
A comlink, a communicator yet. And you also made these beautiful models here. Because you're really mad about Star Wars, aren't you? And The Empire Strikes Back?
Yeah.
Because that model that you made is actually from The Empire Strikes Back, isn't it?
They both are.
That's what, Princess Leia, and we have 2 of the rebels. What actually is it?
It's the Hoth Rebel base.
The Hoth Rebel base. And this one here?
Yoda's Dagobah house.
Oh, yeah, and that's Yoda. Oh, what a lovely character. Why is Luke Skywalker standing on his head?
He's training to be a Jedi Knight, so he needs to learn to use the Force.
Oh, I see. He's using the Force by sitting upside down, and there, standing upside down, we've got R2-D2, and who's this?
Ben Kenobi. Ben Obi-Wan.
Oh, yes, I know that. And these beautiful models here. Now, of course, we've got somebody else here who really is an expert on Star Wars, too, young Stuart. Stuart, could you come over and be a pal and bring those beautiful R2-D2 cookies with you, because they are absolutely delicious, and I can't wait to have a bash. But you, in fact, also are an expert on Star Wars and make models and everything, don't you?
Yeah.
Do you prefer that to The Empire Strikes Back? Oh, you prefer The Empire Strikes Back. Obviously, it's a bit doubtful. I'm going to have a go at this one, Stuart, see what it's like. Here we are. This is an R2-D2 cookie, and very delicious it looks. What is this, guy? You want a bash? Oh, take mine. I'll put it down there for you. Oh, that's lovely and chewy. Gorgeous. Oh, that is good. Oh, you caught me in mid R2-D2 cookie. Who exactly are you? Oh, I know who you are. You're Chewbacca, but who are you underneath? It's Robin Hill from Hull. Now, Robin, you're in fact an engineer. And you're certainly not a young engineer. You're 26 years old?
That's right, yes.
Now, one can understand the very young going in for it, but why a 26-year-older?
I suppose I just never grew up, that's all.
Yes, you're exactly like me. In other words, we're having a lot of fun and enjoying it, living out the fantasies.
That's right.
But you not only live out the fantasies, you also build these fantastic models.
Yes.
You are, in fact, a special effects designer, aren't you?
Well, I'm building these models. This is an Eagle transporter from Space 1999 for science fiction film that we're making, a video film.
Beautiful.
They're all scratch built, that is, they're not construction kits.
No, you actually built from the sheet and the original material.
Bits and pieces, yes, model railway accessories.
Beautifully built. And that was featured in what, 1999?
This is from Space 1999, that's right, yes.
And what about that one over there?
There's the bridge here from Star Trek, the TV series Star Trek.
Absolutely beautiful. So you're really also a sci-fi fan as well?
Yes, special effect work in films and television.
Now, did you actually build that from scratch as well, or is there anything of a kit in there?
The figures are from tank crew and dune buggy drivers and things like that.
But they're beautifully made, and I love the detail in all those marvellous consoles and tiny little things there. And now, you also do these special effects as well, don't you?
Yes, I built a number of special effect props. This is a blaster from Star Wars.
Could you give us a blast? I love it. Incidentally, I've got one here. This is a transporter from Star Trek,
yes,
which I'm going to demonstrate.
I wouldn't play about with it too much.
Oh, I think I know. After I've got a good scientific training there, let me think that. But there, and I just say, beam me up, Scotty. Oh, what a pity. Now, I'll never know. I was going to ask him about the film that he'd just made. Of course, filmmaking is a very expensive hobby, and in order to pool resources, young filmmakers often get together in groups to make dramas and documentaries, like the lads of Forest Hill School in London, who, under the guidance of their teacher, Colin Finbow, spent all their free time, both at weekends and even holidays, making movies. I went to see them on the set of their latest production, Dragon in the Garden.
Go where you want, Henry.
I went to push you in.
Man on the bike.
They're ready to roll here.
No,
right?
Can't see him.
Okay, well, let's go. Okay, tape.
Rolling.
Camera.
Rolling.
Mark it.
34:19, take one.
Action.
I can't swim! I can't swim! God, help me, will you? Help! Come! Come on! Give us an hand with him, then.
Okay, cut it. Well done.
Hello. Is this the setup?
No.
Or was that one of our setups?
That's one of ours.
You've got an Ariflex?
We've got one, yes.
Did you buy it or hire it or what?
We're still paying for it.
It's really professional, the whole thing. A Nagra?
Yes.
You use a Nagra? That's professional filming. So, what film are you actually making?
Dragon in the Garden.
That's a very intriguing title. What's it about?
It's about a boy who, when he's 14, has been educated up until then by his parents. It's when he goes to school and meets the hard nut, Charlie, over there.
Where's the hard nut, Charlie? That's with the, Do you enjoy filmmaking?
Yeah, it's good, really good.
What are you going to do next?
Just got to be edited, and then I'll see it. It'll be, you know, good. See it in the film theatre, yeah, it'll be good. And then I get like a film festival around their school, and all the parents come and see it.
And they show about 2 or 3
And all my mates are going to come and see it, and I'm going to hide. Sit on the back row and hide.
What did you actually get from out there coming into here? We can cut away to Steve's lot.
Yeah, I got him down there, the bank over there. Yeah. I just missed that, and then it ran out.
No.
Another level, Spong.
34:20, take one.
Give us a hand out with it, then.
No, you ain't. I'll give him the kiss alive.
What do I give a kiss alive for if he ain't dead?
I joined the unit on the first. We have a trip to Wales, a new recruits trip. I joined that in the first year, and it was a question. Everyone was asked what they wanted to do. You had to put your hand up. Say which one you wanted to do. The job of sound went by. So I didn't get chosen. And then camera. Then it came to lighting, and so I put my hand up for that. I didn't know anything about lighting, and I thought it was one of the smaller, lower jobs. But I enjoyed it when I got to it.
Who actually does the direction then? It's the overall direction of the film.
17, this is where she said.
Well, Fluff and Amos do most of it.
Yeah. That's going to come off to the very... When Charlie's
and
walks
Robert
in,
does
it'll be in
it as well.
between
Robert
34,
Marks
16.
and cuts it and that.
You know, when
And
Charlie walks in...
when, if Amos or Robert's away,
Charlie walks along the bank.
I have to take their place. If they go on holiday, I take their place.
This isn't just a school course. This is your hobby.
It's not at all a school course, really.
No.
It's really just Mr. Finbo's hobby.
The only...
He started it.
Yes. And now it's your hobby.
He
because
started it
you're mad
11
about
years
it.
ago with a classroom of kids.
Yeah.
And since then they've been working out school time. We get very little school time.
Yeah.
The only time we would have off is to deliver film somewhere, and that's very rare time.
Yeah.
It's all at weekends and in holidays if we shoot it all in our own time.
Yeah. And at night, you work late at night on it, everything.
Yeah, you've got to be really devoted to it.
Yes, you have. Of course you have. But with all these problems, the money problem and the time problem, because you only work weekends on it, is it all worthwhile?
Yeah, of course it's all worthwhile. We get lots of enjoyment out of it. We don't mind spending our own time on it. But the future of the film unit is not going, it doesn't look too bright at the moment. Because before we've been working on short films, but recently we've been starting on features.
Yeah.
And the money, there's no one who's going to back us up. We've been
Could you get it from industry, for example? Could you get it from local industry? Would they give it to you?
We've tried loads of places, but they just won't give any money. But now what we want to do is change our name from the Forest Hill Film Unit to the Children's Film Unit and draw from people all over the country, children all over the country who want to work on films.
That's a tremendous idea.
And that's another reason why we need a bit of backing for that company.
34:22, take one.
You better go home, Joe, before you get pneumonia.
Cool, you're tough, Jimmy. You threw Charlie all over the place. You ain't half strong.
Rory's right, I better go and phone the dad.
Okay, got it.
Well,
Look, I tell you what we've got to try and do is here, basically here in St James's Park, is to get the contrast with all the pace and atmosphere of London we had this morning.
Nicholas.
Am I being arrested?
I'm sorry.
You know, when you film in the public, when it's the police coming up saying, have you got a permit to film here?
What is going on exactly? Because I always think of you as the definitive actor who specialised in the upper-class twit. The man from the ministry flourishing the umbrella with the bowler hat on. I say. And now I find you filmmaking.
Well, I'm still playing the upper-class twit as the filmmaker. Well, I must introduce you to my cameraman, Mike Fox.
Hi.
Michael
Hi.
Bentine, you probably know him.
Great.
I was just telling them we were doing some shots on a film which we're calling The Best of British.
Yes.
You know, it's a film about the British life, and we're doing scenes which are very typically British and English and Scottish and Welsh.
You're not going to turn your back on comedy, are you? I mean, you're going.
Well, it's a humorous film.
Oh, super.
Yeah.
You did a wonderful one, Mad Dogs and Cricketers.
Oh yes. Yeah,
with that wonderful Corfulian cricket match out in Corfu.
Yes.
When you actually make a film like this, you're making what, the documentary, or you're making...
Well, it's really, Mike, it's a documentary technique which I've learned through doing other kinds of films.
Yeah.
And it's what I think they used to call the old cinema verite, because they are entertainment films. I'm trying to show humorous situations.
But real life.
Real life, yes.
Yes,
in other words, you have to creep up on the situation, on the people, on the objects, and try and take it as it's happening. And once those people become aware of the camera, the film's finished. Those shots are finished.
Yes, once they actually look into the camera.
Yes, yes. There's the sort of shots we look for in the film. But where the film, I've sent them off to do something else. This is what happens, this sort of film. You suddenly see something and you were off to sit on another setup somewhere.
Because that's really the fascination of it, isn't it? That you're shooting life going on round you in the park. But you've got to be mad about filming in order to film in this weather.
I think you've got to be mad to film. I think you've got to be mad to want to film in any circumstances. Yeah. Because first of all, there's all the problems of trying to persuade someone to give you the money.
Yes, yeah.
And then there's all the hassle and problems of setting it all up.
Yeah.
And then when everything's going right and you've got your story and you've got a crew, you know, and you've got creative people like Mike Fox there, and you say, right, go off and do that. And then suddenly you get there and this happens. You get the rain, you see. And that's the madness. If you're prepared to accept that challenge, you are mad. But if it's sometimes a race... Hello, darling. Oh, that's very kind of you to ask.
Well, that's about it from Madabout for another week. But we're going to end with a sneak preview from the Forest Hall Lads film. Of course, it's only a rough cut, as we call it, but there's a lot more work to be done on it still. But it really is tremendous. It's called Dragon in the Garden. See you next week.
know your uniform.
Hello, Charlie. Hi, Charlie.
Mr. Killer, come to our school.
You've seen him before then, Charlie?
Yeah, you better watch his Spegger. He's the kid who bashed up Nicker Edwards.
He's stupid. I'm not scared of stupid.
You'd be petrified if you saw what he did to Nicker. Some ain't gonna like what you did to him. Especially Nicker. He's gonna get you bashed up. So ain't rotten. How would it be if I looked after you?